As I said, fear is an opportunity to grow. So the moment you see fears in your script, it's time for you to grow.
A question from Meera, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
much.
I'm so sorry to disturb you in the middle of the session to ask you if I could unmute, but I was very excited to ask a psychologist this question because I've been a little confused about this for a while. So, I'm a very strong believer in manifestation and mental health awareness and all that. And also, the reason I asked to unmute is because my question is long. So, I'm sorry again.
You don't have to be sorry. Go ahead.
So the thing is, I always find myself in a dilemma when it comes to scripting manifestation as well as stream of consciousness. Because when it comes to stream of consciousness, I'm writing out, it's like a cathartic throw up. So I'm writing exactly what's in my head. And then scripting is where you are literally designing your dream life and all of that. I often find myself in the fear of I don't know which one will come true because both are on paper. You know what I mean? So like there's always this I've written out my dream life, but at the same time, am I opposing my own manifestations just by stream of consciousness? And I find both of them equally important for myself, with today's the fast-paced life that we live today. I feel like, and especially not everybody has somebody to talk to. So sometimes journaling can be like a very therapeutic way for me, at least. Journaling is something I've done for years and years. But then scripting manifestation and stream of consciousness is something I've often find myself like in torn between. So yeah.
Okay. I'll answer your question. First of all, I think I should appreciate you for journaling since so many years. That's the beauty, and that's actually a protective layer for your mental health. And what beautifully you have given the purpose also, Neera, like given the kind of lives that we are all living, we have to bring it on paper. Otherwise, we will not know what is in our mind. It's all lost. It's all gone. Right. So stream of consciousness, this is what you have mentioned in scripting manifestation, the confusion between these two. I think the first is stream of consciousness, wherein you're actually putting all that is happening in your mind, or whatever is happening at the thought process level onto the paper, right? So first I would say write 1, 2, 3 drafts of the same, tear and put it into dustbin, because your emotions need to first come out. Whenever you're having so much to write, that means underlyingly there is an emotional overwhelm. So just write the first and the second draft. See if you have settled down on an emotional basis first. Tear and put it into dustbin. Don't even read it. Then comes the second step, wherein you're writing it again, and this time read it repeatedly so that you can actually pick up the underlying thoughts or fears which come in your manifestation, which come in your journaling script. Pick up those fears, and that's where your action starts. And those are your manifestations.
And before we move on to the next question, I request all participants to answer a poll for us. This will help us understand you a little better and follow up for the future events and also curate the topics that we bring to you. Moving on to the next question, I'd like to bring up a question by Dheeraj Manjani. Does SMART restrict us from having bigger, larger ambitions?
No, it doesn't. In fact, it helps you break it down into smaller chunks. And for goals, it's always about breaking down into smaller chunks, right? So SMART doesn't restrict you. Once you start putting on paper, it will actually help you know how it in fact widens your horizon about goals.
A question from Sibi. What if we get anxiety because of an irrational fear of deadline that we set for goals?
Excellent. Anxiety, fear, feeling low, a little restlessness is all common as part of the goal achievement. Always remember, whenever you are feeling anxious, step away from that goal. Take a break, step out of home, go into nature. I would give you this specific example. It is it has a very calming effect, which I tell my clients as well. If possible, step out and sit under a tree, or observe a tree, you will see that, a lot of leaves will fall on its own, right? You don't have to do anything. A lot of leaves dry down and they kind of fall on its own. So life is also like that. The more we try to control, the more anxious we become. The more we try to let go and understand that, chips are supposed to fall away wherever they want to. We can't hold certain chips, right? So let them fall wherever they have to. If you can just understand this beauty, you will come back from nature refreshed and back to your goal. And this, I personally use it too. I kind of ensure that I watch a tree every day. I go for a walk. I ensure that I watch a tree and I sit under it, and I come back with that dried leaf. And you can use it as a reminder, like you can stick it to your vision board also. That leaf also tells you that anxiety is common. Everybody goes through it. And right now, when I'm talking to you, even I have the anxiety, like how is this going to go? How is it going to, is it taken well? Can I answer all questions? So we do have anxiety when we are doing our goal achievement. So it's common, but see how you can calm down. So use that technique, and you can also use breathing exercises, yoga. You can get into yoga. Please practice these techniques. These are all self-healing techniques.
Moving on to the next question from Raja V. I'm going to unmute Mr. Raja.
Madam, very good afternoon.
Namaste, good afternoon.
First of all, very thanking you and your team members giving this wonderful session. Madam, this what you call today's topic vision board, how it is helping to achieve our goals in how much percentage?
How will this vision board help us in achieving, and how much percentage is SMART? So if you actually take the second segment of SMART, or the second letter of SMART is measurability, right? So when I am actually giving myself measurable targets, and I am ensuring that I am following the acronym of SMART, I know where I stand. Like for example, if I take 3 goals, right? If you're writing a book, doing more community mental health projects, I'm actually talking about my goals here. If I give a timeline, like by the end of 2023, I want to get into a community mental health project, then I actually know when December is there, if I am into a community mental health project, I need to do this because I worked towards it. Yes. Similarly, if I'm planning to write a book by the end of next year, then I should wait until then, and I should see if there is a progress. Like every 3 months, I need to sit and understand, did I write at least 1 page? Did I write at least 1 chapter? Did I choose a topic? That's when I'm breaking it down into smaller chunks, right? And I'm measuring myself. So when a goal is measurable, you will know, you can quantify it. That's what is your question. Like you'll know how much of percentage you have actually gone closer to your goal, or how much of it you have achieved.
A question from Shmuel.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I want to ask you how, according to you, we can to become the dream about social and economic well-being into reality.
I think someone has to help me with the question. The social and the economic part, as I have understood, like how can we achieve a goal when there are social and economic barriers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, when there are social and economic barriers, there are larger things that we cannot do. Like, for example, the kind of family that I come from, or what my parents can give, the financial resources that my parents can give, the kind of school that I am sent to, and also sometimes the kind of job that I get into. Because these days we see a lot of engineering graduates being jobless because there are a lot many engineering graduates and the positions are less. And sometimes there's a gap between my skill set and the market requirement. So these are a lot of social and economic trends also, which kind of impact our goals. But at the end of it, we always need to analyze how much of internal factors that we can control. External factors, the social and the economical aspects, if I don't have control, I should let them be. some amount of economic aspect, if I have a control, which I already said, like probably if I can study and gain a skill set which will put me ahead of others, which will put me get a scholarship, which would put me in the limelight, where people can actually, do something for me in terms of, sponsoring for my education, etc. There are a lot of options like this. Also, internal factors, because most of the time the possibility is there in the internal factors. Like if I see that if I am an engineering student and I do not have a job while most of my classmates do have, then I need to introspect and understand what is the market requirement of an engineering job. Where do I stand? What is my skill set? Because every person has their own skill set. What is my skill set and how can I bridge that gap? The moment we can do this analysis, I think we can get away with some amount of the social economic conditions too.
Thank you for the reply. Moving on to the next question, I'm going to unmute Neena, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. My question is that I am very social and I am good in everything. But always, whenever it comes to doing something like I think now I have done singing. When I go to teach someone, I just go and teach freely. But I've invested so much of money and time and energy. I can't take anything back from them. How can I proceed? I don't understand. I've tried many ways, but I don't know how to proceed with that.
You're teaching them for free?
Yeah, everything. I'm doing Reiki, I'm doing singing, dancing, everything I'm going in free. I think that it is very wrong from my side because I don't have any identity of myself then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Neena, such a relevant question. I'll just give away my story a little bit and then answer your question. I think when I started off on my career, for the good part, I mean, I was 22 when I started off on my first job. And my frequent answer in the interview would be, money is not the criteria, the work is the criteria. Give me the good work. And I would often notice that, I wouldn't get much of a hike between job to job. And I think, trust me, the first two jobs, I sat with myself and I'm like, wow, I'm growing work-wise. Like I'm appreciated for my work, but why is my salary not going hand in hand? And trust me, when I did this, then I remembered that in the interview itself, I'm saying like money is not the criteria.
Yeah, right.
So money should be your criteria. And always remember, see, I also do a lot of free service as part of the NGO that I work from. But free service sometimes is not appreciated. People also don't give that value. So you will always have to be very, very conscious about what is the kind of population that I would give away free work to. Like someone coming from socioeconomic backgrounds which are below the poverty line, but they have the zeal and passion. Why not? I would give away all my time and effort for them. I wouldn't expect any money because I come back satisfied. I'm actually building good citizens for India. But if someone I'm giving free, but then I don't see that learner's attitude in them, they're not investing time, discipline, then I need to back off. Similarly, money is important for you because financial independence for women is very, very important. I tell this to my team also. It is important because it changes the way you look at things. It changes the way you look at yourself, and a lot of decision-making abilities change. So it is important that you earn. So the next time you're going with your CV, please tell them that, this is my experience and this is what I expect, and it is non-negotiable. Don't get into the negotiation part, because again, you will say money is not the criteria.
Yeah.
So for some time, just say money is not negotiable. Rest of it, I know what I'm bringing to the platform. So money is not negotiable and you need to earn.
No, but most of them are coming through reference. That has become my most biggest problem.
You will have to say no to all the references which are bringing free work onto your table. You'll have to say time to find myself financially. So no to free work, get me work which pays me.
So how to start with, I want to ask you the question that how
you will have to
start
apply.
Means how? Now,
you will have to apply. You will have to
Huh.
apply. Like based on your experiences, you have wide range of skills. That's what I understood.
Yeah.
So just pick up one area which you're very passionate about. Understand yours first. Make a small survey about the market. Like what is the market requirement of that job? It is always important to understand the market requirement first, and then understand your skill set, and then understand the gap. Always there would be gap. between the market requirement and our skill set. Accordingly, you can quote your salary. And while you're on job, you should constantly be bridging that gap. And that's when you will grow financially in the career.
Thank you very much.
I would love to see you in a well-paying job. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question. What if when there's something we want, but it looks hard to come in practical time?
Okay, wonderful question. If something that we want, but it is practically not possible, I think we need to do a self-analysis. There's a concept called real self and ideal self. Real self is where I am right now, and ideal self is where I want to be. So if I am not able to transform my goal into practicality, which means there's a huge gap between where I am and where I want to be. Supposing I'm a psychologist right now practicing in one city. I suddenly get up and say that, I want to be a world-renowned psychologist, or I want to become a most famous psychologist in India. Now, the gap between where I am and where I want to be is high, right? So naturally, it becomes difficult for me to get that goal into practicality. So just check for this gap, like where I am right now and where I want to be. Is there a huge gap? Don't change that goal. Like I still want to be a best psychologist in India. Keep that there, but build another small step in between these two so that you first aim to achieve this. Got it?
I see a lot of testimonials coming in, a lot of gratitude from our participants.
Thank you so much.
I also see that we are done with the questions, and I'd really like to thank the speakers for helping us find a direction to achieve our goals, turning our dreams into actual calculatable visions. And thank you so much for this insightful talk.
Trishant, I'm so sorry. May I ask a question? Yes, please, Neha, please go ahead.
Yes, please. Could you please use the raise hand tool once?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Okay. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for organizing this session, first of all. And I'm right now a software developer. I have just completed like 2 years of my corporate journey. And right after I graduated from college, I have got multiple jobs and I joined one of a renowned corporate company. And in the very first year, I've been offered on-site where I went and earned a lot of money for myself. And actually, it was a great experience and exposure. My parents are proud of me, my relatives, my friends, everyone were proud of me. But what happened when I went there, I understood that the role is not for me. It was a good role, but what I found was it is not for me. I'm not finding it passionate enough and all. So when I came back, they again offered me on site. So now I'm feeling like I rejected it because I wanted to pursue MBA to get into the role I want. Now I feel like when I'm looking at the other people who have accepted the opportunity, like daily I'm struggling with a question like, am I letting down myself? Am I letting go of opportunity? Which doesn't come to anyone that easily. So it's like eating me away. And coming to the MBA degree that I wanted to pursue, like I don't have financial support as of now from my parents, and I don't have enough finances from my side to arrange fees for the MBA degree. So now I'm in a position where I'm not understanding what exactly want to do for myself. Am I just letting go of the opportunities in the fear of failure or fear of judgments? So can you please let me know, like, is it a relevant fear or what I exactly have to do?
Wonderful questions, Neha. First of all, I really like your journey. And I think it is only for people who have their passion driving them will actually come up with a question like this. So you haven't really found your calling yet. That's why you left the job. Now, the first part of advice for you would be you need to go in for career counseling first to understand what is your suitable career. I'll tell you what career counseling is. Any psychologist would do career counseling, or you have career counseling experts as well. A career counselor would actually give you a personality test, an intelligence test, an aptitude and interest test, along with a career values test. So these tests will kind of give them an insight into what kind of a person you are. So based on your personality, interests, values, intelligence, and aptitude, they will map you to certain careers and they'll give you a few options which suit you. So I think you should first go for career counseling. The second thing is the financial gap that you were talking about. I think you need to sit and have a word with your parents that, you want to restart studying and if they can help you. Or you always have options of taking in loans and all of that, right? But for you, the first step is getting to understand what is the right kind of profession for you, which matches your values and which matches your passion. Once that is in place, I think finances shouldn't be a bigger problem.